On today's show, we're going to take a trip south of the border and look at some nice American dividend stocks. My name is Candace, and we'll begin right now. I have said before on this channel that the American market is one of the biggest in the world, and as such, should not be ignored if we want to make the most of our investments. I have heard some people telling me that the U.S. market is not great for high-yield dividend investors. If that is your opinion, I want to try and change that today as we dive into some high-yield American dividend stocks. Before we jump into those stocks, I do want to remind you about the tax implications of investing in American dividends. The big one is the 15% withholding tax you will pay on those dividends every time they are paid out, if of course you're not holding them in an RRSP. The reason for this is the tax treaty only recognizes the RRSP as a registered account. With that being said, if you hold them in your RRSP, you will lose 15% off each dividend, but come tax time, you can claim that 15% back with a foreign tax credit. So you have not really lost your money. It's almost like you've saved it without a return on investment. In some cases, this could even be advantageous if you are looking to boost your credits at tax time. Of course, the best broker in Canada for American holding is none other than Wealthsimple Plus. It is $10 a month for the Plus features, which then gives you an American version of all of your favorite Wealthsimple accounts. You do, of course, pay a small conversion fee when you swap money from Canadian to American, but once you have the money in your USD account, you are ready for commission-free trading on the American market. If you do not yet have Wealthsimple, what are you waiting for? Grab my code off the ticker below and get 2 free stocks today. Holy banana bread, they can be valued up to $4,500. If you are still on the fence about Wealthsimple, get off that fence. Pause this video, use the code, and sign up now. Then come back to this video, and I'll share with you those American high-yield dividend stocks you may want to add to your USD account. All of these stocks we're going to look at today have a dividend yield of 10% or higher. Please keep in mind that when you invest in very high yields, there is also higher risk. So without any further ado, here are my top 10 high-yield American monthly dividend stocks. Kicking off our top 10, we have PIMCO High Income Fund with a ticker of PHK. Their primary investments are US dollar-denominated corporate debt obligations of varying maturities and other corporate income-producing securities. Capital appreciation is only a secondary priority for this company. They have a good dividend yield of 10.105%, which comes in the form of a monthly dividend of 4.8 cents American per share. Not too shabby. And if we're starting off at 10.105%, I think we're in for some pretty good dividends in this video. At number 9, we have Sabine Royalty Trust with a ticker of SBR. They are an express trust which is formed to receive Sabine Corporation's royalty and mineral interests, including landowners' royalties, overriding royalty interests, minerals production payments, and any other interest in certain royalty properties. They have a good dividend yield of 10.128%, which comes in the form of a monthly dividend of 4.67 cents American per share. This is the only stock in the top 10 today with any amount of growth to really be excited about. In the last year, the return on investment was 187%, or as we normally describe it, it increased by 87%. That is not too shabby at all. However, as nice as it looks, it is much smaller over the 5-year period, as a lot of that growth was recovery from the illness. At number 8, we have Ellington Financial Inc. with a ticker of EFC. They are a specialty finance company that has a strong focus on creating good returns for their investors. Most of their investments range from mortgage-backed securities to subprime residential mortgage loans, as well as commercial real estate debt. They have a good dividend yield of 10.216%, which comes in the form of a monthly dividend of 15 cents American per share. At number 7, we have Virtus Total Return Fund Inc. with a ticker of ZTR, or ZTR for the Americans. They invest in global securities consisting of common equity, preferred equity, and debt securities. They have a good dividend yield of 10.245%, which comes in the form of a monthly dividend of 8 cents American per share. At number 6, we have AGNC Investment Corp. with a ticker of AGNC. They are a real estate investment trust. They invest in residential mortgage pass-through securities and collateralized mortgage obligations for which the principal and interest payments are guaranteed by a U.S. government-sponsored enterprise. They have a solid dividend yield of 10.901%, which comes in the form of a monthly dividend of 12 cents American per share. At number 5, we have Oxford Lane Capital Corp. with a ticker of OXLC. They are a non-diversified, closed-end management investment company. They invest in equity and collateralized loan obligations. They have a solid dividend yield of 12.694%, which comes in the form of a monthly dividend of 7.5 cents American per share. They have been making good growth towards recovering the value they had pre-illness. In at number 4, we have Recon Capital, NASDAQ Covered Call ETF with a ticker of QYLD. We have seen these guys before as they were part of my ETF Dream Team. This ETF looks to replicate the performance of the NASDAQ 100 and use covered calls to enhance their dividends. They have a fantastic dividend yield of 12.867%, which comes in the form of a monthly dividend of 20.2 cents American. Their management expense ratio is 0.6%, which is not too bad. They are also not a significant investment for growth. For our number 3 spot, we have an American REIT, and it is Armor Residential REIT Inc. with a ticker of ARR. This REIT invests in residential mortgage-backed securities, adjustable rate mortgage securities, and multifamily mortgage-backed securities. They have a very nice dividend yield of 14.303%, which comes in the form of a monthly dividend of 10 cents American per share. Growth-wise, this is of course not a good bet, but we are all here for the dividends, so for passive income, this is definitely a good choice. Coming in at number 2, we have Cornerstone Strategic Value Fund with a ticker of CRF. They are a diversified, closed-end management company that invests almost entirely within the IT, healthcare, financial, communication services, industrials, utilities, energy, and real estate sectors. They have an impressive dividend yield of 15.199%, which comes in the form of a monthly dividend of 17.3 cents American per share. And, sounding like a broken record, they are also not really big on the growth side, which makes sense as most of their profits are going back to the investors. Coming in at our top spot, we have another Cornerstone company. This time it's the Cornerstone Strategic Value Fund Inc. with a ticker of CLM. They are a closed-end management and investment company. Their investments include equity securities over multiple sectors that include financial, IT, healthcare, consumer discretionary, industrials, materials, energy, and telecommunications. They have a very awesome dividend yield of 15.486%, which comes in the form of a monthly dividend of 18.1 cents American per share. They also don't have very much going on the growth side, but that's the whole general idea of passive income. Overall, their fundamentals look good, and this looks like a great choice for our top passive income slot. Hopefully, these stocks have proven that the U.S. dividend scene can do just as well as our Canadian high-yield one. Always remember that I am presenting these as a start to your research, as I am not a financial advisor. A financial advisor should be the end of your research. If you guys loved this video, be excited. There is way more to come. Until then, why not watch one of these videos? And before you jump into that content, just be sure to like and subscribe to support the channel. I'll see you in the next video.